In a move that can only be described as the height of absurdity, New York City's noble leaders have concocted yet another grandiose plan that is designed to help illegal migrants at the expense of the citizens of the Big Apple. Let's venture into the latest installment of this real-life tragic comedy created by Joe Biden and Alejandro Mayorkas. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back. So on Saturday, city leaders displayed their unyielding brilliance by deciding to cut the budget for the New York City Police Department. And wait for it, they intend to use the savings to help with the growing, with no end in sight, illegal immigration problem, a situation lovingly fostered by none other than their party leader, President Joe Biden. The irony here is practically a poetic circle of ineptitude, isn't it? You see, New York City, with its soaring crime rates and a surge of illegal immigrants, a phenomenon never before seen like this, has illegals parading around the city as a sanctuary for years. A sanctuary that, frankly speaking, is not really living up to its proclaimed title anymore. Now, many of these illegals, including women and children, face the grim reality of being ousted from shelters and being welcomed into the warm embrace of street tents. In a moment that seems ripped straight from a dystopian novel, Budget Director Jacques Giha, I hope I didn't murder the name, announced that Mayor Eric Adams, who not too long ago prophesied that the migrant crisis would destroy the city, is on the brink of initiating an overtime reduction directive for not just the NYPD, but the city's 4 uniformed agencies. That's the cops, the firemen, the corrections department, and sanitation. Think about this. Crime is already skyrocketing. Now imagine the cops get dwindled even more. All right. You know, every time that there's a strike in the city with the sanitation department, you know what happens. Everybody gets mountains of garbage and trash outside their homes, and the rats take over, right? That's what we're going to be seeing pretty soon, all because of Joe Biden. There'll be swinging and swaying and records playing as the city's criminals start dancing in the streets. If you think they're not paying attention to this, then I have some wonderful miracle supplements I would just love to sell you. And we should not underestimate the courage it takes to utterly disregard the safety and welfare of one's citizens in favor of towing the party line. Mayor Adams seems reluctant to muster the fortitude necessary to confront the Biden administration and demand border closure for the well-being of his own constituents. Instead, it appears that he's more interested in playing party politics than blaming his own leaders for this problem. Instead, he wants to blame Texas Governor Abbott for sending about 1% of what his border towns get each and every day under this nation-killing Biden administration. Even Patrick Hendry, the head of the Police Benevolent Association, couldn't mask his disbelief, saying that the masterminds behind this idea have evidently parted ways with reality. As he put it, reducing overtime for the NYPD is a pipe dream without addressing the glaring staffing crisis that they're already dealing with. What we're seeing here is a classic case of Democrats' penchant for misplaced priorities, isn't it? I mean, if you're an elected official and you want to get reelected, it's pretty simple. You take care of the people who elected you first. I mean, New York City has to be 90% or better registered Democrat. And he's screwing them over this way. And then on top of that, there's this. The city is hemorrhaging nearly $10 million daily to manage the deluge of illegal migrants. And guess what? There seems to be no end to this fiscal bleeding. With essential city services being brutally slashed, they are predicted to barely scrape by, meeting a mere 2/3 of the anticipated costs. I'm certain that Joe Biden believed that the humanitarian crisis he intentionally created at our border would be contained at the border, because the majority of our southern border, where the criminal aliens come over, are run by Republicans. Texas and Arizona make up the majority of crossings. Biden never thought his border policies would backfire spectacularly and Democrat-controlled cities were getting screwed, but here we are. I mean, in a distressing confession, Adams admitted that the city's capacity to shelter newcomers is reaching its limits, forcing them to consider moving women and children into congregant settings or even outside tents. So the same Democratic Party that punished churches that remained open during COVID now expects them to fill their facilities up with illegal migrants who have destroyed the hotels that they took over already. Why don't they just put them in nursing homes? I mean, that worked out so well for them during COVID, didn't it? It seems that Adams has belatedly realized the gravity of the situation, lamenting the impossibility of managing a never-ending influx of 10,000 people a month. Why 10,000 people a day? If only Adams had voiced his concerns about the border control sooner, instead of indulging in the sanctuary city fantasy after his election. But foresight seems to be a rare commodity in the realms of New York City politics. As we witness this spectacle of poor leadership unfold, one can't help but wonder if things are going to be considered bad enough for the voters in New York City to bring back another Republican administration to fix the damage that de Blasio and now this nitwit Adams are creating. If not, then we will continue to see the city sink even lower as it grapples with the consequences of political ineptitude and misplaced priorities. All right, so make sure to subscribe to our channel and share our videos with like-minded friends who want to stay informed about what's really going on. Stay informed, stay vigilant. Always remember to read between the lines and the lies. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.